Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be doing our results video for December, which is the last month of the year 2023, which is crazy. This video is going up after the new year, so happy new year to everybody. I hope that you guys are able to spend the holiday season with loved ones and you guys are doing great. I'm so excited to see what 2024 holds for our budget. Let's just go ahead and wrap up December's budget. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just get right into it as we usually do. I'll do a quick flip like I have been doing lately too. I don't know if this is like a waste of time or not, but let me know if you guys enjoy me doing this. But this is the monthly overview that we set up together and checked in every week. Our savings tracker for our external savings account. We have our dashboard, our variable income, our December budget for the month. We have our weekly check-in to check in our electronic cash envelopes, I guess you could say, or our daily expenses. We have our weekly balance, which checks in our checking account. Since we are cashless budgeters, we use credit cards for absolutely everything. This is what helps us balance out our checking account to make sure that it's correct to the penny. And then we have our sinking funds and transaction log. And then I will be doing our debt payment in an upcoming video as well. But let's go ahead and do our results. We're just going to dive right into our results for our December spread, our December budget spread, and then we'll go through each portion. I've been trying to remember to also zoom in too. I have a bad habit of not zooming in, but 5,000. We are zero-based budgeters too, so up here is usually always the same. I don't know if it will ever be different unless there's like an emergency for the month, but we try our best to stick to a zero-based budget. Now let's talk about, I'm always intrigued to talk about our spendings for bills first, so let's just do that first. You guys might hear my baby in the background. We have our fixed ones, so those are good, but let's talk about our variable ones. First up, we have mortgage. It's definitely going to be under because our mortgage amount did go up for the next year, and I'm assuming it'll probably go up again next October, but this is negative $95.66. Then we have our gas. We had a budget of 100. The actual amount was 71.38, so we are under budget, which is always what we would like for things to be, but it doesn't always work out that way. Next we have electric. Electric is also under, which is great. And this is under by $76.75. Then we have our mobile. Mobile 180 minus 178.19. That is under by $1.81. Student loans, we had 175 minus 157.71. That means we had extra $17.29. Then for student loans for my husband, we budgeted 125. That minus the 124.40 equals 60 cents. That is under. And then for a holder, because we had so many of our fixed bills for the month actually be more than what they're supposed to be, even though they're fixed, we had a bunch of expenses that were more, and we put those funds in here so we wouldn't be negative. But this is actually supposed to be in red because it was under budget, $15.97. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and add up all the actual that was spent real quick, and I'm gonna put that in here. Same with our total for all of our variable as well. I'm gonna put that down here as well. Alrighty, so I went ahead and brought down all the numbers. So the total for the actual that we spent was $2,951.72, and then the variance is $13.44. If we look back at what we checked in for week 4, we did end with bills $13.44, which is perfect, so that matches. I did go ahead and add up our fixed total along with our variable actual totals too. So that means what we spent for the month is $3,161.56. That was the total that was spent for this month. I'm gonna go ahead and also write that in our dashboard overview as well. 3,161.56 as the total. Now that we checked that in, let's also check in For our little daily expenses, this one you guys already know, I just kind of, instead of just adding each one together, I just write over the total amounts. Eating out, we had $1 left. Groceries negative by $35. Gas, we're also negative by $18. Allowance, we are even, $0 left over. And then we also had our pups and bean, which was $8 that we had left over. So in total, adding all of this up together, we are negative by $44. But now let's write for how much we spent from each category. That means for eating out, we spent $299. For groceries, we spent $435. Gas, we spent $168. I almost wrote 119 or 18. $168 that was spent. For allowance, we spent the full $75. And then for pups and bean, we spent $67. That means adding all of these up together, we spent a total of $1,044 for the month. So I'm going to write that in our recap as well, 44. All right, now that this is all done, we're going to go ahead and jump to our sinking funds. We're going to jump to our sinking funds to write out how much we spent from each category here. I hope that this zoom in is enough, but let me know if it's not enough. I could definitely zoom in for future results for the sinking funds. But let's see. I like to jump around from this too, if you guys don't know. But let's do gifts and treating. That was $120 that was spent, $120. And then we have our water. Water came out was $147 for our bill, $147. We had a couple holiday ones, so we had $125 plus, it looks like $30. So that in total is $155 from our holiday category. Then we have one clothes. This was really for our December savings challenge, but still $50 regardless. Pups food, we have one of them that is $76. And then let's see here. We have one baby one, so I'm going to put that in here. So that is $264. We are so negative for the baby category. $264 that was spent. We have a couple of home categories. That is $120. And then plus 26 equals $146 for home. Home category, $146. And then it looks like the rest of them are medical. Let's add them up. Medical is $186 plus $102 plus $40. That means for medical in total, which is kind of quite the bit, is $328 that was spent for medical bills. I mean, we knew that there was medical bills this month, but it's definitely quite the bit. Okay, so everything is now officially checked in with the double checks. That's why I love having visuals, because I will miss things. There's no way I would not miss something. But okay, that means the rest of these categories, nothing was spent, which is great. Now to total up the end amounts. So for car insurance, we had $88 to start with, and we added $75. That means we have $163 in here. For sewer water, we had $177. We added $75. We spent $174 since the bill came out, and that means it is a total of $105 left over. Holiday, $275. We added $25. That minus $155 means we have $145 left over for the month. Pups medical, nothing was spent, so we still have the $108 that we started the month with, plus the $25 that we added for the month, and then nothing was spent, so that is $133. Medical, we're going to be in the negative because we only started with a month with $10 and we only added $150, but that minus the $328 that we spent means we are negative by $168. Then for our baby category, we are also going to be in the negative because we did add 150, but we started the month with a negative 106. And then we also spent an additional 264. I feel like I definitely jinxed ourselves because I talked about how we didn't really use this category, and then every month since then we've been using this category so frequently. But car maintenance, we had $63, then we added $20. That means we have $83 in here. Gifts and treating, we were negative. We had $113, nothing was added, and then we spent $120. So $120 minus the $113 means we're negative $7. Home category will be in the negatives as well because we were started the month with a negative 119. We added 150, but that minus the 146 that we spent means we're negative $115. It's only because we wanted to get that air fryer. I think if we didn't get the air fryer, we would definitely be fine in this category, but it is okay. It's not preferable to end the month with so many negatives in our sinking fund, but luckily, since we did get an additional paycheck for December, maybe we'll add some of that in here to help out with the negatives. I'm thinking so we don't start off the year 2024 with a bunch of negatives. We'll be doing our January budget soon, so we'll definitely talk about that together. But we have 125. We added $10. That minus 50 that we spent means we have $85 left for this category. 89 plus 30, $43 left over. Easy Pass. I feel like we haven't been using Easy Pass like that, but that is $40 in there. Office, we're still in the negatives. Luckily, we didn't use it, but we're still definitely in the negatives by $44. Then beauty and unbudgeted, nothing added, nothing spent, so we're still at what we started with, which is 60 and 107. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add up all the amounts that we spent, and I'm gonna write the total along with how much our end amounts is, the total after adding all of these up. I'm gonna write at the bottom as well. Alrighty, so I added them all up together. The total that we spent for the month is a crazy $1,286. The end amount is $418 after adding all the negatives and positives together. And if you guys remember our week 4 check-in, sinking funds, we did end with 418 as well. So that matches perfectly. But I do want to at least write how much we spent. So $1286 from our sinking funds. But okay, so we are looking good for our end results for these spreads so far. So everything else is basically checked out. These are all checked in. Everything is looking good. Now we're gonna flip to the back of the planner so we can go and write down our bills. If you guys are curious about any of these spreads, I did set them up with you guys for 2023. These are just our quarterly budgets since we do set things up quarterly. And then we have our bills. I have also been setting these up with you guys for 2024 as well. Most of those videos should be up, but there's definitely still a few that I still have to film. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna go write down our bills for December. Our mobile bill. Mobile was $178.19. So that's actually the same as the previous month. Car insurance did not come out. Our gas was $71.38. Wonder why our gas went up by so much. Anyway, okay, because the previous months were in the 30s, so I was surprised that it went up by that much. But anyway, so for water, our water did come out. Water is, we put it in our sinking fund since it comes out quarterly. That amount was $146.59. $146.59 for water, which is actually the most that's ever been as well. It's usually never gone past 140 in previous years. Maybe it's because we've been cooking at home so often, so a lot of dishes, water being used. I'm guessing. I don't know. But okay, for electricity, electric bill did come out as well. So that was, so for our electric bill, that is going to be $73.25 for electric. This year, definitely our electricity bill has been more than previous years too, but that is okay. And mortgage is now our new amount, which is the same. I don't write all of our bills in here, since you guys see that we do have a bunch of bills, but these are like the ones that I primarily use, since these are the ones that tend to fluctuate a lot. Maybe not so much mobile, but the other ones I really do like to have a visual for all previous years to quickly glance at. So when we do our budget, it's a lot easier for me to kind of estimate how much we'll need for these bills. But now that this one's done, let's go ahead and write in for our December budget for sinking funds. This is fairly quick, so I'm going to just do this off camera. I am basically going to be transferring over how much we spent from each category over to our December sinking fund spent. The only one I'm going to leave out is for clothes, since for clothes we didn't necessarily spend it. It was more so for a December savings challenge. I like to only keep what we actually spent in here to be able to see back and look back on. Savings challenge I don't really consider spending, since it was more so like a savings challenge, but that's just our preference. I'm gonna fill this in real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and filled that out, and that is what this is looking like so far. This is another quick overview of how much we spend from sinking funds every single month. I really do like to see the categories that we use the most. We've been using medical bills so much lately. I unfortunately fell off budgeting for third quarter, which was July, August, September, so I don't really have any results for this section, but definitely once we were pregnant and lately we've been using so much medical bills. Definitely this third quarter, I think it takes the trophy for spending the most money. But okay, so we have this now filled in, our bills. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and do our budget results for this quarter as well, or not this quarter, this month as well. And I'm going to just grab, I don't know if this green matches the most, but I'm just going to grab this mild liner to draw a line, since this is kind of like how I like to set this up. You definitely don't have to set this up the way that I do, but this is just my preference for setting it up, because I like to see it per category. But let's see, so we have our income, and we did budget for $5,000. Actual is also $5,000, which means there's no variance. Then we have our daily categories, our bills, and our sinking funds and ally. We are zero-based budgeters, so I'll show you guys where these numbers come from. First one is for daily, which I consider these categories are daily expenses or cash envelope categories. We don't use cash, but electronic cash envelopes. So the total for this section, we had a budget set for $1,000. Actual spent, we spent definitely more than what we should have, so that was $1,044, which means we're negative by $44. Then for our bills, which is all of these bills on here for variable and fixed bills, our estimate at the beginning was $3,175, so $3,175. Actual that for bills was $3,161.56. And then we had a variance of $13.44. And then sinking funds and ally, that is this last section. We already wrote the numbers here, we wrote the numbers down here. This is our last little bit. I don't know if I should change the name. So far, I've always just used sinking funds and ally, since I only have 2 categories in here. But maybe in the future, I'll probably change it to like other, maybe. I'm not sure. But for right now, we had a budget of $825, and that's what it was, just $825, $825, no variance. This one is always like that because that budgeted amount goes into sinking funds or goes into our ally savings. So like that amount, that money was moved to a separate category. But that is what this is looking like. If we add up these daily bills and sinking funds amount, the $1,031.75 and $825, the total is $5,000. which is what it usually is. It's usually matching our budget because we are zero based. And then our actual amount that we spent, let's add it up. So 1,044 plus 3161.56 plus 825 equals $5,030.56. That means we're gonna be in the negatives, which you already know, but just to further kind of check it, we had $13.44 minus the negative 44. So yes, we are negative $30.56 for the month of December. Negative 30.56. Normally we like to have a positive so we can, you know, put it towards something, but that's okay. Our first quarter of the year was the best. We always had positive by like a couple hundred, honestly, which was great. And then we had our first negative in the month of May, but otherwise it was pretty good. But this end of the year is not looking the best. But that is actually going to be it for this video for like the budget results portion of it. I will of course be tallying up all of these sections and what is it called, for our results too, but that is going to be in our fourth quarter budget results video since it's a whole separate thing for per quarter. But yes, that is actually going to be it for the results video of December. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I hope that you guys have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.